G'day, I'm AM Reaper, and this is DMT Journey of the Infant Mind. Welcome back. This is the last episode of this season, or this series I should say. So, if you haven't seen this before, I'd suggest you go back and have a bit of a squiz at all the rest of the videos. They're pretty interesting if you're into this sort of stuff. And this one is just going to be a bit of a quick wrap up. I'm going to run just a slideshow here, just go through as I talk, just to keep you sort of half interested in that, so other than my banter. So the last episode we talked about dosages, the levels of DMT, and the effects at different dosages. Alright then, so I'm just going to chuck the old screen on here for a minute. I'm not going to talk about the pictures as they go, I'm just going to talk about here. So I talked about the stages of DMT. We're not going to talk about that here. If you want to go watch that, I suggest you go back and just check out the other video, okay? I just wanted to wrap up a few things here. So my thoughts on DMT. I'll probably forget a few as you do, but you know, as you go. So DMT is not what you think. You watch a lot of things around, and it's not what you think. It's not all the fairy tales, and it's very hard to imagine what actually happens to you on DMT. Nobody can imagine what happens on DMT until you've had DMT. Okay, no matter how hard you try. So the best thing to do is just try and prepare yourself calmly. Okay. Worst thing about it is they say DMT, you know, like, yeah, do this research to find out about DMT. You might come across it at a party or something, luckily, somewhat not luckily, but, you know, sporadically, but other people do a lot of research to find DMT. So you do all this research to find DMT and you think you've answered all these questions, you're going to smoke DMT and it's going to answer every question you've had. Wrong. It's going to ask a million more questions. And, you know, a lot of those questions there's not even a possibility of answering because you can't even understand what language is written in, so to speak. And that's where JOTIM DMT sort of originated the name, like Journey of the Infant Mind. Like, from all the knowledge that you gain from the search for DMT, when you have a proper breakthrough dose, you know, as I said, 1,000 more questions are waiting to be answered. So, you know, what you thought you knew, you really realise that you don't know. You really don't know. And you really say all this information, you think, oh, I sort of know what's going on. And then you go, holy shit, I've got no bloody idea. You know, so you thought you knew, and then you realise you really don't know. So then the mind becomes infant. Infant's the DMT experience. Okay, so that's where the name originates for this video. Sounds a bit funny, but that's what it is. But you know, and I've never seen a lot of people describe, I mean, I'm sort of brought up as a Christian and I sort of believe in God sort of thing that way, not so much as in the person anymore. I'll talk about that another time. But I still believe in God as what people call God. But I've never seen, say, Jesus or God, because we're of the Christian faith where I come from. On any of my trips, I've never actually seen anything that relates to anything that I've ever seen anywhere before. When you talk about, say you saw a joker, or you say you saw some sort of elf dude, they don't look nothing like elves, look nothing like jokers, but they're just the only thing that you can sort of describe to somebody else what it might look like. It's not what it looks like, it's just, you're just trying to describe maybe to your human friend here what's going on, what's going to happen, and what it looks like, but it's impossible. Okay, but we try, and that's where things get misconstrued, I suppose. You know, what I have seen is unexplainably precise. It's amazing, it's incomprehensible, it's mind-altering, it's life-changing, it's a traumatic experience, you know. High doses of DMT are very traumatic. You mean, you either come out crying or laughing, and I mean, but by the time you've come out of it, you are crying and laughing because you've had, you know, wow, you've had this amazing experience, and it's, by the time you come back, it's all over and you're happy and everything's fine and you know everything's fine, so you're happy again. But at the time when everything's sort of going on at the full peak of the trip, you know, it's fucking traumatic. Okay, it can be lovely and you get all these lovely feelings too, but it's still shocking and traumatic at the same time. Okay, it's the most traumatic thing you've ever done. It's probably the most traumatic thing a person could go through, or most unreal experience a person could go through alive without being dead, without, yeah, I don't know how you could experience anything else. More than jumping out of a plane or flying a fighter jet or something like that would be awesome, but I don't think it's got a great deal compared to DMT experience, to be honest with you. Stupid as that sounds to normal people. Yeah. I mean, I'm normal. I just have a different experience, a different look on things than other people now. I always did, but yeah. So back to the air. Yeah, don't eyeball this stuff. Use a scale. Use a 000 scale. Right. Because, as I said, once it gets up into the high dosage ranges, 2 milligrams difference is a fair bit. 3, 4, it's a fucking lot. Okay. The setting, your mindset, the setting of your house or the setting of where you're doing it, whatever's comfortable for you. Make sure you're wholly comfortable. Make sure your mindset's all nice and calm and clear, like I said. Make sure everything's happy. And be respectful to DMT. It's only some little thing. Be respectful to DMT, or it will kick your ass. It will shake you to the core at the least of times if you have a decent dose of it. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Don't start playing around and being silly and just throwing stuff everywhere. And no, Paul, that didn't make this be funny. Haha. No, it's not. And don't ever stick a heap in it and give it to a mate. Try and trick somebody by putting it in there. Okay, it's not a smart thing to do. It's not a funny thing to do. Okay, you wouldn't like it done to you, so don't do it to somebody else. DMT is illegal, so I don't advocate trying to find this stuff, or trying to get it, or do whatever you do. Okay, so this is purposely for harm reduction. I don't know where people get 3/4 of the stuff they get. Okay, so there, I just know that it's about, I don't know, just want to turn this over for a second. Got a bit of a squeeze here. Make sure I haven't sort of missed anything that I was trying to think of. Put that back up there. And remember to use your meditation. You might at least calm your mind. Don't just walk into a room. Oh yeah, DMT. Yeah. Make sure you sit down for a while and calm yourself and do the whole process. It's more of a ceremony sort of thing that we look at it as it's not just a drug that you consume. It's not really a drug at all. It's a entheogen, really, as they call it. But and don't be a hero with doses. You don't need to go stupid with doses of DMT. You'll destroy your own bloody mind. They say, oh, you're stuck in the DMT trip for months and months. No, you're not. But you are stuck wondering about what just happened for months and months and months. You'll be in the shower thinking, oh, fucking hell, what the go? You paint the side of your house thinking, whoa, what was that? And things become, you be thinking about it for a long time. I mean, the first time I broke through right out, as I said, to break out, I don't think I touched the stuff for about 6 or 8 months, and it was on my mind every day. Whenever my mind wasn't fulfilled with playing a game or talking to my family or something like that, there was something to think about. So, yeah, that's where I get the idea of being stuck in your trip, so to speak. In my view or experience, some people may have psychotic episodes, going to psychosis and things like that. Obviously, it's possible that you read about it on the internet everywhere. So be careful too. Don't use this stuff for medications and things. Make sure you're not having interactions with different medications. Stay off all the bloody uppers and stuff like that. As I said, before you have DMT, make sure you don't have too many ciggies and too much coffee and eat too much shitty food. Have that after it. Have a big feast after it. Okay? Your mate's probably trying to feed you to shut you up because you won't be able to have a decent interview, but you won't shut up for about 4 hours. So, trying to tell them all about your experience. So, yeah, but at the start of it, it's pretty wild, so be careful. Okay. And this is also, if you're looking into some religious beliefs, using gateway chemicals, so they speak, or, sorcery, or visiting the spirit world. I don't think DMT is anything like that, but they say it is, so, I'm just saying, you will find that, they reckon it's blasphemy against the Holy Spirit and stuff like this. I can't see how, because all these chemicals used to be used in the religion years ago anyway, and just about everyone on earth, so, even Christianity, so, as long as there's a whole big story about that, but I'm not going to tell it to you. You can go and find that one out for yourself. It's just, yeah, fun, that one. But anyway, I used to believe in the Christian God, and I still sort of do, but I just don't believe as in the physical figure, so to speak. It's more about a collected consciousness of, I don't know, maybe energy or something, as stupid as that sounds. But yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know, and I won't say I do know. Maybe it is the normal angels and devils and things, but I don't know, and DMT hasn't shown me either or, but what it has shown me is nothing like anything I could ever think of or imagine. I'll imagine's a wrong word. I mean, you can imagine anything, I suppose, but I've never imagined anything like this. So, and it's different. I mean, you can have the same dose 3 times in a row and it'll do different things, but the setting and the scene will be very, very similar. It'll just be different. It'll be almost like going to the same, for instance, maybe going to the same city but doing something different each time. Yeah, anyway, just for example, not example, just for a metal as a example. So yeah, way out the other side, like when you go right out, which I thought was called a breakthrough dose when I first started using DMT, but no, some people call it a breakthrough just into the tunnel of the whole reality shifts and changes, which I can understand why they call that a breakthrough. So I nearly call, when you go right through the end of that, out the other side, out through the gridded world and into the wherever, you end up in some scary places in an instant. Bang, you're there. So yeah. Alright guys, so just be careful. I'm AM Reaper. I enjoyed making this video. If you have watched this, obviously you're thinking about doing something like that. This is for education too. I do mean everything I say. You might start to laugh at some things and say, oh, this guy's a bit over the top. No, I'm not. I'm probably under exaggerating what happens, to be honest with you. But yeah, I haven't tried to replicate too many visual aspects because it's nearly impossible to do that. Just once you go through the blackness into the next bit, it's not quite what you think. It's like a bit more computer graphics than what you think. Yeah. And anyway, so I'm out. Wait till the next season. Thank you very much for joining me. I just wanted to show you something actually quickly before I go. I'll have to go into my YouTube page here. So we'll just go on here for a minute. I don't know if you can still hear me. I think you can. So just going to go on here. There's that song I was talking about there, Raven's Medicine. So it looks like on YouTube. Yeah, a lot of people will look for different trip simulations on YouTube, right? They go for all this crazy shit. Now, I'll just say, this is probably one of the better ones, alright? And it's probably one of the most boring ones you've ever seen. But we're just going to have a crack at this for a second. Watch this. I'm not trying to rip this guy's trip simulator off. It's just what I'm trying to say is it's more like just these flashy things around. I'm trying to emulate a bit of a tunnel situation here. If you just watch this, stare in the middle, just focus in the middle, just relax your eyes and focus in the middle. All of a sudden, you'll feel like you're encompassed in some sort of room aspect of things. Okay. So there we go.
I love you. I know you're talking to coffee, but I love you too.
Me too.
They chose a man.
Some garbage. Yeah, woo, that's what happens when you put YouTube videos on. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. I am Reaper, Jotim DMT. Ready for the next season. Just email me down the bottom and let me know. If you want to hear any sort of real trip reports of what experiences I experienced years ago, there's a fair few of them. Yeah, if you're interested in any of that, send us a line. If you want to know any information about anything I've talked about, drop us a line. There's a lot of decent topics on this video. I can't talk about everything because, I mean, as I said, topics on here you could talk about for weeks. So yeah, I am Reaper. Thanks for watching this, and we'll catch you in the next season. Cheers guys. Look after yourself. Peace. Be safe. Email down the bottom. Cheers guys. Bye.